That Tuesday was just another ordinary day. I was thinking about the weekend, when Adrienne and I would finally choose our wedding cake. The wedding was only 2 months away. Everything had been planned down to the smallest detail. This was supposed to be the perfect moment of my life. I got home earlier than expected that afternoon, about 30 minutes early, because my client meeting wrapped up faster than planned. I opened the door quietly, thinking I would surprise Adrienne. I heard her voice coming from the bedroom upstairs. Her tone was different, though. Cold. Calculated. Not the voice she usually used with me. I froze on the bottom step when I heard her say the words that would change everything. I just need to wait for the right time to leave. Before I tell you what happened next and how I handled the confrontation that followed, do me a favor. Let me know in the comments where you are watching from. Hit that like button if you have ever had your gut tell you something was wrong. And subscribe, because what comes next? Well, let us just say Adrienne was not expecting me to hear any of it. Now let me take you back to how we got here. 3 years earlier, I met Adrienne at a coffee shop in downtown Portland. She was reading a book about architecture, which was a coincidence since I work as an architect. We talked about Frank Lloyd Wright for 2 straight hours. That evening, we went to dinner at a small Italian restaurant near the waterfront. Adrienne ordered a margarita pizza, and I ordered carbonara. She laughed so much that night. That was what I loved most about her. 6 months into dating, we took our first camping trip to Mount Hood. After 1 year together, Adrienne moved into my apartment. At the 2-year mark, we adopted a cat together and named her Pepper. Adrienne seemed like the perfect woman. She was intelligent, funny, and ambitious. She worked as a marketing manager for a tech startup. My family loved her. My mother especially would always say she is the one. This past January, I proposed to her at the same coffee shop where we first met. I had asked the owner for permission and decorated the space with fairy lights and white tulips, which were her favorite flowers. Adrienne cried and said yes immediately. The engagement ring was a 1-carat diamond. I had saved for 2 years to buy it. She posted about it on social media right away and received hundreds of congratulations. I thought that moment was the beginning of forever. 3 months of wedding preparation had already passed. We had booked an elegant garden venue in Lake Oswego for $8,000. The photographer, caterer, and florist had all confirmed. Adrienne had completed our wedding registry at Nordstrom and Williams-Sonoma, selecting the most expensive items available. Our joint account held $15,000, which included our combined savings, plus $5,000 from my parents and $3,000 from hers. The guest list included 150 people. We had planned a 2-week honeymoon in Santorini, Greece. But something changed about a month and a half ago. Adrienne became different. She spoke less during evenings. She was always holding her phone, smiling when reading messages, but never sharing them with me. When I asked, she would say just work stuff or bridesmaid group chat. She started refusing intimacy with excuses, like too stressed about wedding planning. One time I picked up her phone to check the time, and she grabbed it back like she was terrified. My gut told me something was wrong, but I convinced myself that wedding stress is normal. Everyone says planning is the hardest part. That Tuesday at 3 in the afternoon, my client meeting ended 30 minutes early. I decided to go home instead of returning to the office. I thought I would surprise Adrienne and maybe cook dinner early. During the drive home, I hummed along to a song on the radio. I parked in the garage and opened the front door gently, wanting to surprise her. The apartment was quiet. Adrienne usually worked from home on Tuesdays. I stepped inside and set my briefcase down. I heard Adrienne's voice coming from upstairs from our master bedroom. She was talking on the phone. Her voice sounded different. Cold. Calculating. I was about to call her name, but something stopped me. I walked up the stairs very quietly, my heart pounding. I stood outside the bedroom door, which was slightly open. I could hear every word clearly. I cannot keep pretending anymore. It is exhausting. There was a pause while she listened to the other person. No, I know, but I have to wait. The wedding is in 2 months. My blood felt like it was freezing. Once we are married and I have access to everything, then I can leave clean. Just like we planned. My world collapsed in that instant. I stood there, my legs feeling like lead, unable to move. I held my breath, forcing myself to stay silent. Every word felt like a knife stabbing into my chest. Adrienne continued, her voice softer now, the tone she used during intimate conversations. I know, baby, I miss you too. But we have to be patient. Baby. My mind was spinning. There was another man. Adrienne laughed, a type of laugh I had never heard from her before. He has no idea. Honestly, he is so trusting it is almost sad. Rage rose inside me. Sad. She thought I was sad. The joint account already has $15,000. Plus, with the wedding gifts, we are looking at another $20,000 to $25,000 easy. My jaw clenched. She was calculating every single dollar. Adrienne began explaining her entire scheme in detail. I will wait about 3 months after the wedding. Long enough that it does not look suspicious. Then I will say I am not happy. Maybe suggest couples therapy to drag it out another month. That gives us time to slowly move money around. He will never notice. His parents gave us $5,000 for the wedding. That is in the joint account too. Plus he put my name on the title of his car last year. I can sell that. I gripped the stair railing, my knuckles turning white. I remembered that moment. I had put her name on the Audi title because she said we are getting married anyway, might as well simplify things now. I remembered when she suggested opening a joint account to save for our future together. Every single step had been calculated. By next summer, I will be out. We will be together, and we will have enough to put a down payment on that condo in Seattle you wanted. Seattle. That was where this mystery man lived. Charleston will be heartbroken, but he will get over it. Guys like him always do. They just find another nice girl and restart. The casual cruelty in her voice cut deeper than anything else. I was disposable to her. I felt everything hitting me at once. Anger white, hot, and consuming. Pain like my chest was being crushed. Betrayal deeper than I thought was possible. Humiliation because she thought I was foolish. I wanted to storm into that room immediately. I wanted to scream. Confront her, demand answers. But something stopped me. A voice inside my head said, "Do not react. Think." Adrienne was still talking. "I need to go, he might be home soon. I will call you tonight after he falls asleep. Love you too. Bye." I heard the sound of her phone hitting the bed. Then she sighed, a contented, relieved sound. She had no idea I was standing there. I quietly backed down the stairs. Each step was deliberate and controlled. I left the apartment without closing the door loudly. I got into my car and shut the door, then sat in complete silence. My hands were shaking on the steering wheel. 3 years together. 3 years of memories, plans, and dreams. Was all of it fake? Or just the recent part? When did she stop loving me? Did she ever love me at all? Who was this man in Seattle? I pulled out my phone, my hands still trembling. I called Marcus, my best friend since college. "Marcus, I need you to listen." I told him everything in 10 minutes. "Holy shit, man. What are you going to do?" "I am going to end this. Today. But I need to do it right." I sat in my car in the apartment building garage for the next 30 minutes. I needed to think clearly. First, I needed evidence. Fortunately, Adrienne shared an iPad with me for Netflix. iMessage syncs across devices. I scrolled through the messages and found a thread with someone named D. There were hundreds of messages dating back 8 months. 8 months. That was right after we got engaged. The messages included inappropriate photos, plans for their future together, and complaints about me. He is boring. No ambition. Just a paycheck. There were screenshots of our joint bank account that Adrienne had sent to D. They discussed selling my Audi, estimating they could probably get $25,000 for it. I took screenshots of everything. I emailed them to myself and to Marcus. Evidence secured. Next, I called my lawyer Dave Thompson, a family friend. I explained the situation briefly. "Do not let her take anything. I will draft a notice for her to vacate. Since the lease is in your name only, she has no legal right to stay. Get the engagement ring back if you can. In Oregon, engagement rings are conditional gifts. If the marriage does not happen, she has to return it." I made a mental note. I called the bank next and scheduled an appointment for first thing tomorrow morning to remove Adrienne from the joint account. They could not do it immediately, but they assured me she could not withdraw anything over $500 without a dual signature, which I had set up. I checked the account online. It showed $14,200 now. Adrienne had withdrawn $800 last week for what she claimed was a spa day with bridesmaids. It probably went to D. I had evidence. I had a lawyer. I had a plan. I sat in that car for 30 minutes, transforming from the trusting man she thought I was into someone who would not be played for a fool. When I finally walked back into that apartment, I was not the same Charleston who had left for work that morning. I walked back into the apartment. This time, I deliberately made noise. I dropped my briefcase with a loud thud. "Adrienne, I am home." My voice was steady, revealing nothing. I heard her footsteps rushing down the stairs. She appeared with a bright, fake smile on her face. "Oh, honey, you are home early." I studied her face. It was like looking at a complete stranger. How had I never seen the fakeness before Adrienne approached to kiss me? I turned slightly, and the kiss landed on my cheek instead. She frowned slightly. "Everything okay?" "Yeah, everything is clear now." "Very clear." Something in my tone made her pause. "What do you mean?" I set down my keys, slowly and deliberately. I looked directly into her eyes. "I came home about 45 minutes ago, actually." I watched the color drain from her face. What? No. I would have heard you. You were on the phone. In the bedroom. You did not hear me." Her smile became brittle. "Oh, that I was just talking to Sarah about." I held up my hand. "Do not. Please do not insult my intelligence any more than you already have." The silence that followed was heavy and suffocating. Adrienne swallowed hard. "Charleston, I do not know what you think you heard." I crossed my arms and leaned against the counter. My voice was calm, but cold. "I heard you talking about waiting for the right time to leave me. I heard you discussing our joint account. The exact amount, $15,000. I heard you planning to wait 3 months after the wedding to make it look less suspicious. I heard you talk about selling my car that I stupidly put your name on. I heard you mention the $20,000 to $25,000 you are expecting from wedding gifts." Each sentence hit Adrienne like a physical blow. Her face went through shock, then panic, then calculation. "Charleston, no, you misunderstood." I pulled out my phone. I opened the iPad messages and turned the screen toward her. "Did I misunderstand these 8 months of messages to D? 8 months of planning your exit strategy. 8 months of calling me boring and treating me like an ATM. Her facade cracked completely. Tears started forming, but I could see them for what they were. Manipulation. Adrienne tried different tactics. First was denial. "Those messages are fake. Someone hacked my account." I stared at her and said nothing. Then she tried minimizing. "It was just fantasy, I would never actually." "You had a detailed plan, timeline, dollar amounts." Then came blame shifting. "You have been distant. I felt lonely. You are always working. I work 40 hours a week as an architect. You know the job that pays for this apartment, the one you were planning to clean out." Finally came desperate crying. "Please, Charleston. I love you. We can fix this." I just watched her, feeling nothing now, except cold clarity. "You do not love me. You probably never did. You love what I represent. Stability. Money. Someone to use." I stood up straight. My voice became firm and authoritative. "You told him, whoever D is, that you were waiting for the right time to leave. Well, Adrienne, I have great news for you." I took a step toward her. "The right time is now." Her face showed complete shock. Her mouth fell open. Her eyes went wide. She was not expecting this at all. She thought she controlled the timeline. She thought I would beg and plead and ask for another chance. Instead, I was throwing her out. What do you mean?" "I mean, you do not have to wait anymore. Your exit strategy. Execute it today. Pack your things. You are leaving. Tonight." Adrienne tried to recover. "This is my apartment too. You cannot just. The lease is solely in my name." I checked. My lawyer confirmed I have every right to ask you to leave. I'm canceling the wedding. Every vendor will be called tomorrow. I am removing you from the joint account first thing tomorrow morning. The bank is already aware. That car title, I am fixing that. My lawyer is handling it. I pointed to her hand. And that ring, the engagement ring, in Oregon that is a conditional gift. No marriage, you return it. So I need it back. Right now. Adrienne looked at the ring, then back at me. You cannot do this. I already am. Her shock turned to anger. Fine, you know what? You are boring anyway. D is twice the man you will ever be. I remained unmoved. Then I am sure he will be thrilled to support you. Oh wait, you need my money for that condo in Seattle, do you not? Adrienne grabbed her purse. She struggled with the ring and finally got it off. She threw it at me, and I caught it calmly. Everyone will know you are a quitter. They will think you are the bad guy. Actually, everyone will know the truth. I have screenshots of every message. I am not protecting your reputation. Adrienne grabbed an overnight bag and stuffed clothes into it angrily. She stormed toward the door. With her hand on the doorknob, she turned back one last time. You will regret this, Charleston. I looked at her, really looked at her, and saw a complete stranger standing there. The only thing I regret is not seeing who you really were sooner, and trusting you with even one day more of my life than you deserved. She slammed the door behind her. I stood alone in the apartment. The silence was overwhelming. Finally, I exhaled. I stood in the middle of what was supposed to be our living room, holding a ring that meant nothing now, and felt something unexpected. Relief. For the first time in weeks, I could breathe. The next morning, I was at the bank when they opened. I removed Adrienne from the joint account and transferred $14,200 to my personal account. The bank officer was sympathetic when I briefly explained the situation. I called the wedding venue next. The cancellation fee was $1,500, which was the contract penalty. It was better than losing $8,000. I called the caterer, photographer, and florist. Most of them understood, though some had cancellation fees. The total loss was around $3,000 in deposits. It was painful, but worth it. I called my parents that afternoon. Mom, Dad, I need to tell you something. My mother cried when I explained everything, but she was not disappointed in me. She was angry at Adrienne. My father said he was proud of me for standing up for myself. That night, I sent a group email to all 150 wedding guests. It was brief. Due to circumstances, the wedding is canceled. Thank you for your understanding. I did not elaborate. I did not have to. That week, I went through the apartment carefully. I found the iPad that Adrienne had forgotten. I scrolled deeper into the messages with D. His real name was Derek. They had met at a conference in Seattle 8 months ago. Adrienne had told Derek she was in a dying relationship. Derek knew about me. He knew about the wedding. He did not care. He actually encouraged her to get what you can from him, then come to me. I felt sick reading those messages, but I also felt validated. This was not just Adrienne. Derek was equally terrible. I sent the screenshots to Marcus with a message saying, just so someone else knows the full story. Marcus replied immediately. They deserve each other. You deserve way better. The first 2 weeks after Adrienne left were difficult. The apartment felt empty and quiet. Pepper the cat seemed confused and kept looking for Adrienne. One Saturday night I cried. I sat alone with a bottle of whiskey and let myself cry. Not for Adrienne, but for what I thought I had. For the future I had imagined. For 3 years of my life that felt wasted. I questioned myself constantly. Was I not enough? Should I have seen the signs earlier? Am I stupid for trusting her? Marcus came over one evening with pizza. He just sat with me without saying much at first. Then he spoke. Bro, this is not on you. She is a con artist. She played a role. You are not stupid for believing someone you loved. Those words helped more than he knew. My sister called from Chicago and offered to fly out. I told her I was okay. I would be okay. During the 3rd week, I made a decision. No more wallowing. I took down every photo of Adrienne in the apartment. I donated the items she had left behind. I rearranged the furniture to make the space feel different and new. I threw myself into work and took on extra projects. My senior partner noticed my dedication and hinted at a possible promotion. I realized something then. Adrienne had said, I had no ambition, but I had plenty of ambition. I just did not need to broadcast it constantly. I signed up for a gym membership and started running every morning. The physical exhaustion helped bring mental clarity. Slowly, day by day, the pain lessened. The anger faded into something calmer. Acceptance. 6 months passed. My life looked completely different now. I received the promotion at work. I was now a senior architect with a $15,000 raise. My apartment lease expired, so I moved to a new place downtown with a better view. I took a solo road trip down the Pacific Coast Highway from Portland to San Diego. It was 2 weeks, just me and Pepper and my thoughts. I stopped at small coastal towns, ate at local diners, and watched sunsets. Somewhere near Big Sur, while watching the waves crash against the rocks, I finally felt something I had not felt in months. Freedom. I made new friends through work. I started dating again, but casually. There was no rush. I learned to trust my instincts better. I learned to pay attention to actions instead of just words. One day, Marcus texted me, "Dude, you will not believe this." He sent me a screenshot from a mutual friend's Instagram story. Adrienne and Derek had broken up after 3 months together. Apparently, he was not as wealthy as he had claimed to be. Adrienne tried reaching out to me after that. Multiple texts, multiple calls. I made a mistake. "Can we talk?" I blocked her everywhere. I felt nothing when I saw those messages. Not satisfaction, not pity, just nothing. She was a closed chapter in my life. I learned important lessons from that experience. Trust is earned, not given freely. When your gut feelings tell you something is wrong, listen to them. Actions speak louder than words. Watch what people do, not just what they say. Self-respect matters more than any relationship. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is walk away. You cannot change someone who does not want to change. It is okay to grieve what you thought you had, even if it was never real. Real love does not require manipulation or lies. Today, I am stronger, wiser, and more cautious, but not cynical. I know I will love again when the right person comes along. Sometimes the person you are about to marry shows you exactly who they are, and the question is not whether you heard them, it is whether you have the courage to listen. I listened, and I chose myself. Have you ever ignored warning signs in a relationship only to regret it later? Drop a comment below and share your experience. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button. Subscribe to hear more real stories about choosing yourself when relationships go wrong. Share this with someone who needs to hear that choosing yourself is not selfish. It is survival. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it reminds you that you deserve honesty, respect, and real love. Stay strong, trust your instincts, and never settle for less than you deserve.